Hey everybody, this is Janet, and welcome back to my channel, Miss Movie Freakout. Sorry for the long hiatus there, but I decided to come back with one of those movies that people seem to really love to hate, and that is 50 Shades of Grey. Okay, so for those of you who might not know the story, it's basically about Anastasia, who's an English lit student, and Christian Grey, who's this billionaire business guy and very mysterious and intriguing and all that. Well, they meet and they just have this connection and they can't seem to get away from each other. I mean, like, they got this pull towards each other, and then all the naughtinesses come out at that point. Now, full disclosure, I have not read the books. I'm not planning on reading the books. I don't want to read the books. So this review is going to be solely on what I saw on screen. I'm not going to be comparing it to anything that was written in the books or anything like that. So if that's what you're kind of looking for, it's not going to happen here. Sorry. But, okay, so, and then on that note, I ended up liking it better than I thought I was gonna. I was really surprised about liking it better than I thought I was going to, because I actually went in there looking to hate it, to be quite honest. I had heard such bad things about the book, and then ever since the announcement of this movie coming out took place, it's just all sorts of bad crap had been falling on it. I mean, people have been wanting to gripe about it, from the casting, from how are they going to make it not be basically porn. It's like, how are you going to make this movie that's about BDSM and everything and whips and chains and blah blah blah? It's like, how are they going to possibly make this into a movie that's not NC-17 or rated X? So, and then you have all those folks out there that are claiming that this is glorifying abuse and all that. So, this movie just had a lot of crap fall upon it from day one, before even filming began. So, and I am, unfortunately was one of those folks that went in with, looking to hate it, and I didn't. And I was really looking hard into not liking this film. But, one, in regards to the actors, granted, Christian, from what I understood, Christian was supposed to be this gorgeous god of a man character, from what I understood, and that was one of the casting issues that people had, because the guy that they picked, Jamie Dornan, a lot of folks didn't think that he was hot or sexy enough or whatever. But I liked him. I thought that he was really good at playing creepy. He was really good at playing mysterious, and you could tell that he just really liked Anastasia. And then Dakota Johnson as Anastasia, she ended up charming the crap out of me. I mean, she was young and she was naive in a lot of in the world, and just naive about a lot of things, but she was adorable, and I could see how someone could fall for her and just wanna be with her. I mean, she was cute, and their chemistry together I thought was good. I mean, I could genuinely tell that they liked each other. At least the actors did a really good job of portraying that, and they were obsessed with each other. However healthy or unhealthy that is, these two characters were obsessed with each other, and the actors did a really good job in portraying that. Now, in regards to folks saying how this was glorifying abuse, I don't know a lot about the BDSM community, but I know a good basis. I know some of just the general goings on and like the type of rules that go on in the world, and based on that, on my knowledge of my limited knowledge of the community and what I was watching on screen, I did not see any sort of abuse. And I looked. I mean, he introduced it to her. He told her what he wanted up front, and never lied about this is what I want. Are you down? Told her, gave her a contract, gave her time, and told her to do the research so that she could know what she's doing. They did the negotiations. There were safe words involved. When she said no, ultimately, he respected that. And I didn't see abuse in there. And then, yeah, there were some moments where he was really particularly creepy, and she didn't push him away or anything. Like, if it was me, if somebody had come, done some of the things that he did, not in regards to the scenes or what went on in the playroom, but if he did any of the things that he did when they were still talking about it, or working through whether or not they were going to go through with this, and whether or not she would agree to it, I would have kicked him out. But her character didn't seem to want to. Like, she seemed to like his pursuit of her and everything, which is fine, I think. I mean, just because that might not be the way I want to be pursued or wooed or whatever, who the hell am I to tell you how you should want to be? Because, I mean, she asked her questions. She made her case. If she had objections about something, she wasn't afraid to say it. And she kept telling him what she wanted. And, they had a lot of back and forth of that. And I can't help but think, even though it's not your conventional romance and the kind of relationship that everybody feels like everyone should want, they were still learning to be together, if possible, like a lot of new relationships happen. So I know this is probably going to be a completely unpopular opinion. I know that people are probably just going to be like, you don't know anything and blah, 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 but it was complete abuse. But I just personally did not see any abuse on there. And I looked, and I was wanting to see that. That way I could just see where folks were coming from. But I didn't see it. What I saw was just this couple who were trying to get into something that not a lot of folks are into, and that's okay. And if you're into it, that's okay too. And then just trying to figure things out. And even whether it was working or not, they just could not seem to get away from each other and let each other go, which sometimes just happens in relationships. So, and like I said, ultimately, I ended up liking it. I didn't hate it. It was not the best movie in the world, mind you. It was nowhere near the best movie in the world. But it wasn't horrible either. I found myself just enjoying moments because their chemistry together was fun. She was adorable. The screenplay the screenplay of this was done well. I mean, there were some cheesy moments, some lines that Christian would say that I would just roll my eyes and be like, "Oh, gag me." But but other than that, it's just I thought it was interesting, and so I ended up liking it. To my surprise, I was like, whoa, okay. So I ended up liking it. So yeah, if my recommendation of this is, if any sort of physical violence, even though in this movie it was consensual, and we're talking like spanking, whips, and any sort of like bondage or anything like that, if anything like that triggers you or you won't like it, don't see this movie. If any sort of emotional abuse that you might see based on a relationship like this, even though I felt it was all completely consensual, but even still, even if you feel like you might be triggered by any sort of emotional manipulation, don't see this film. If you are at all weary or the BDSM lifestyle freaks you out or creeps you out or you just don't like it, don't see this film. I mean, you all know what this movie is basically about, and you all know that it involves BDSM, however you feel that is, if it's whips, chains, tying people up, spanking them, whatever. You have your own idea of what these worlds are, whether or not you've learned about them or researched them or not. So if you know that something like this is going to upset you, then do yourself a favor and don't upset yourself and don't go see this movie. I know that a lot of folks are upset about this movie and are calling it abuse, but aren't going to see the movie to judge for themselves. It's like, okay, if you can't see the movie to judge for yourself for whatever reason, because of triggers or whatever, don't just automatically bash a film and call it abuse when you haven't watched it. And again, I understand that a lot of folks probably can't or won't be able to watch it because it's just it would be too triggery, and that's fine, but why are you using your voice to call something that potentially a lot of folks out there might not see it? I know that there's folks out there who've seen it and still see abuse all over the place, but not everybody does. I'm case in point, and believe me, I was looking for that abuse. So again, that's just my opinion. That's my 2 cents. Take it for what it is. But I'm gonna be one of those few, at least for right now, reviewers that see this as, give this a more of a positive review. And like I said, this is nowhere near the best movie in the world. It's not, there's no acclaims in regards to the acting and the directing, but for what it is, I mean, it's an unconventional love story. The 2 characters that are in it, the actors, do great in portraying their interest in each other. I mean, you can tell that these folks just want each other. There's nothing that anybody else could say or do is gonna stop them, and that just sometimes happens in the world. The music was fantastic. Danny Elfman was doing the music in this, so that was kind of surprising. But yeah, the music was fantastic in this, and it's a complete escapism fantasy type film for those who are just looking for that. I mean, it's definitely not your typical love story at all, but if you're looking for something different and you're looking for something fun, because it did have its fun moments, and if you're looking for something sexy, then this probably is the one for you. But then again, pay attention to all the warnings beforehand that I have mentioned before, of all the triggers of reasons why you might not like it. And if you still think that you could handle all that and you want to get a bunch of girlfriends to go with you to see this movie and just have a good time and giggle at the sex, whatever the hell you want to do, then yeah, by all means, go enjoy the film, or not. But yeah, it's just that's my opinion, and there you have it. So yeah, I liked it, and I'll probably go see the others as well, because now they got me intrigued and I have to see how it ends. And like I said, I'm not going to read the books. So yeah, there you have it. If you have any comments, any questions or whatever, do leave them in the comment section below. And please, no hate. Like I said, it's just my opinion. You don't need to rag on me or whatever, and all that if my opinion doesn't correspond with yours. And there's plenty of other reviews out there that will say how much they hate it, and so go hang out with them and bash it there with them. But with me, no, please, no hate. If you liked what you saw here and what I said, please subscribe, like, all that jazz. If you want to see more about my movie freakouts, go to my website, moviefreakout.com. And thanks so much for your time, and y'all have a good one. Bye.